Good morning. Well, you're almost half that you've been yesterday, so good job, guys. Okay, I'll be short. I'm not the cool people who should be here. I'm just Laura. All right. So regarding today, a few very important things that everybody should know. Do you remember small room 3 of yesterday? Yes. You don't because it didn't exist. But today is gonna be there and everything will be as planned. So you're going to the rooms that were initially assigned, which you can find in the agenda. The second thing, from the side of the OC, it's that it would be very nice if you could only stay to the 4th floor to eat, because the other people who want to eat there won't have enough place. So just go eat there and then leave the place to the other people to also go and eat. If you want to chill around, you always have the 2nd floor, where also some creative little things are waiting for you. All right, so don't just stop at the 4th floor. Try to go on the 2nd if you just want to chill. All right, and I've also mentioned already about the creative space, which is now open. And once you're going to finish the sessions here, you're also going to see the poster gallery, and the candidate sessions will also start in the common space, in the other building, most likely. So you're going to find it. For questions regarding the rooms, if you cannot find it and so on and so on, the people in the info point are able to help you. So that's the safest way if you want to be in a session in time, which I'm kindly asking you to do. And this being said, I think I can let the cool people actually be here.
Please, Dora is cool, right? Come on. Okay, very nice. So, as I promised, we're gonna have a lot of cool talks and discussions this morning, and they're gonna be by some really amazing people from around ESN, around the network. Because as you know, we do a lot of cool things in ESN. We do a lot of inspiring things, a lot of motivational things, a lot of impactful things. If my numbers are not wrong, we, as far as activities.esn.org are concerned, we do around 10 to 15,000, that's falling apart, 10 to 15,000 activities on a yearly basis, at least the registered ones. So please register more activities. Thank you very much. I see the board cheering, because yes. And according to at least the numbers that we have on activities.esn.org, we reach around 500,000 people with those activities and those initiatives. And that's just activities. We are an activities-based organization, but we do a lot of other important things, especially initiatives to try to improve mobility. So we're going to talk about some of those initiatives today. One thing that we started doing last year, as you might remember, is this really cool thing called Erasmus Destination of the Year. Does anybody know? Has anybody heard about Erasmus Destination of the Year? Very nice. So we will be talking about that today, but the reason why we have Erasmus Destination of the Year as well this year is because we want to prove to the world that ESN does cool, important things, and that we work with people to actually make mobility better for everybody. Who here has been on the SEAM conference in Brussels in October? It was a cool conference, right? Yeah. It was honestly a really impressive conference. We had around 200 participants, and literally it was 50-50 divide between students and student representatives, such as yourselves, and stakeholders that work in the field of higher education. So university representatives, national agencies, people from the commission, people from the parliament. It was really amazing. And I will never forget this one moment where we were discussing, I don't even know what the topic was exactly right now, but there was a lady from the audience that was talking, and she was like, I really enjoyed this. She had a mic so everybody heard her, and she was like, I really enjoyed this conference. It was really nice. I didn't know that ESN did more than just parties. And everybody just went, oh, come on. So clearly, we do a lot of important things that we're proud of, and ESNers are proud of the things that we do that aren't just parties. We do parties, of course, and we do really good parties, really responsible parties, really safe parties. But we do other things as well. And me as a communication manager, I always want us to work more on promoting these important initiatives that we do and these important activities that we do. So that's why we have Erasmus Destination of the Year. That's why we have it for the 2nd year in an extended edition that I will tell you all about. But first, I would like to see a presentation up there, tech team, please and thank you, so I can explain to you what the Erasmus destination is about in case there's people that don't know about it. So I'm just gonna wait in silence, not in silence, while we get the presentation going. Do you want a TED Talk? Do you want me to sing? Yeah. Thank you. No, please no. Yes, thank you. It's here. Thank you very much. So Erasmus Destination of the Year. How it all started and why we do this is last year we started with the Erasmus Destination of the Year initiative through the Erasmus Plus app. But this year we extended it to showcase what initiatives ESN sections do together with other stakeholders such as cities and universities, and how these bodies can work together to create better mobility experience for students. Whether it's by offering better support, by offering better experiences, by offering better guidance, advice, anything. And we've done this a month ago or so, and we've gotten some really good applications, but I'm going to talk about those a bit later. Before we do, I want to go a bit back into the past, like a year ago or so, and talk about the last year's winner, Thessaloniki. Where are my Greek people at? Very nice. So last year we did the Erasmus Destination of the Year through the Erasmus Plus app. Who knows what the Erasmus Plus app is? Okay, good. See, you know it. Very good. So we've done our job. You are aware of it. So we did it through the tips competition. Last year we were collecting tips for the app because the app aims to be a place that has all the information about Erasmus Plus mobilities, including, and this is something that also we as ESNers are kind of driving, is the tips and advice and guidance and stories by other mobility alumni or just by students who are fans of mobility. So we launched the tips competition last year, and then we launched the tips competition in ESN because we know that you guys like to compete. We know that you are passionate like that. And it was really cool. We got a lot of tips, but nobody got as many tips as ESN Thessaloniki sections. They got 100 tips more than the next guy. It was 400 tips, really amazing. And to tell us all about this, I would like to invite to the stage my dear friend Ariadne from ESN Thessaloniki to tell us all about it.
Hello.
Ariadne, everyone. Hello, Ariadne, please. Well, first of all, welcome to our big stage. I hope you're not intimidated by this amazing crowd.
No, good morning to everyone.
Okay, so please tell us first, for those of you who might not know, who are people of ESN Thessaloniki or Thes Erasmus, right?
Exactly. ESN Thessaloniki, or what we used to call Thes Erasmus, is actually the cooperation or family, mostly, of the three ESN sections of Thessaloniki, of ESN Outh, ESN Ichou, and ESN Wom Thessaloniki. This cooperation this year celebrated its 10th year, so we are very proud and excited about it, and it's actually a family, like nothing more than a family. We work together every day, we have almost everything in common. We have common meetings, common trainings, even common board supporters. So yeah, we're actually family working for the best of the mobility in Thessaloniki, and this title made us really proud.
I mean, I don't think I've heard such a good section cooperation in quite a while, so usually sometimes people tend to see like people in the same city as competitors, but it really seems like we're a family.
No, that's not the case at all.
Very nice. So last year when we launched the tips competition internally in ESN, what was the state of ESN Thessaloniki after the pandemic and everything? What made you actually decide to do this? Because we know that motivation was at all-time low last year, so how did you manage to actually do this?
Yeah, exactly. I think we can all agree that the pandemic had a large impact on the motivation of all the network. So what we needed as ESN Thessaloniki was a big boost of the motivation of our volunteers. So when we saw the competition, we thought, what is better than such a competition that will provide us with a lot of motivation, a lot of boost, and of course, a lot of courage in order to go on and striving for more, and maybe a reminder of what we have been before the pandemic. It was like a hope that we can construct what we had again. And yeah, that was definitely the case. I'm very happy that we decided to do so.
Was it difficult? I mean, 400 tips is not a small number. How did you do it?
Yeah, because like every initiative at the beginning, you know, it's a little bit hard to convince the team to believe in your vision, to believe in your dream. But after that happened, when the team really understood that it would be great for it to happen, yeah, we worked really well. We were very passionate about it, and yeah, that's how miracles happen, right? Vision of the team, so.
Was it only the ESNers in the section that were working on this, or did you manage to mobilize some students or some family members?
Well, we didn't go that long in terms of family, I'm talking. But yeah, we also like shared it with Erasmus students, and some of them were very passionate about it because, you know, sometimes also Erasmus students feel their city of mobility as their own city. So they were really, really excited about that, and they were really promoting it. So we're also very grateful about that.
Very nice. I want to ask you when it happened. So last year in Thessaloniki, we had people from the ESM Commission. Nadia, she announced it. How did it feel? What was the impact on the team, actually?
Okay, it was like a long journey. At the beginning, it took us some time to realize what it was happening, because like the news was shared very fast, mostly from our universities that supported us a lot, but like the visibility that this title got was like so sudden that we didn't even have time to assimilate it. I think that in one day I received like 10 to 15 calls from local media and stuff. It was crazy, But it was actually what we needed, as I told you before. And I think we tried to do our best in order to support what we got.
And you said that university really supported you. Did you feel, and you also got a lot of attention from the media, did you feel like this title really contributed to your visibility, to your relationship with institutions, maybe even partners? How did they react to all of this?
Yeah, definitely. I think the most important thing that someone can gain from that title is the visibility. Because in ESN we all know that what we are doing is great. But what we really need is to show what we are doing. Is that people be aware of the impact that we create. So yeah, the visibility actually served a lot as a leverage in negotiating with stakeholders, with partners, also in creating cooperations with institutions, with other teams, with other groups, and also to promote mobility itself, because also the university told us that there were like more interest from part of other universities in forming mobility agreements with our university. And I think that's what we want, and what's what we work for in ESN, right? So visibility always helps.
Exactly. Very good. And you said that you know, you got a lot of attention from the media. How was the reaction in the local community? Also, were they happy? Did they like what is Erasmus? Did they know what was happening?
Yeah, the reaction was actually very high. Of course, there are people in our cities that don't really know what is Erasmus, so I think it was a big boost for the city itself to get more familiar with the program and to have a little bit more of research, let's say, about how it works and what it is. And you know, like every title, it also made the city itself proud. It was like something additional for what they could be happy and brag, maybe. So yeah, I think that it helped that the program is more like famous and let's say loved in the city.
Very nice. And what did you do with the title? Like, did you have any events around it? I know that you did a very cool campaign with ESN International, but did you do anything else locally or nationally?
Yeah, of course we did. We had a lot of like social media campaigns, along, of course, with the ESN International and the Renault. We also had a very big event in order to celebrate 3 things at a time. Erasmus Destination of the Year, 10 years of ESN Thessaloniki, and 35 years of Erasmus Plus. So we had a very, very big event in the City Hall. Well, when we invited all the Erasmus students, all the groups like the volunteering teams, the institutions, the university, it was like a big mobility celebration of the city. That was crazy. I think it was one of the biggest things that we have ever done as ESN Thessaloniki. Also, we had some survival guides and a lot of projects still going on.
Very nice. Can you tell us what some of them are? Like maybe spoil it for us a little bit?
Okay, so the first thing...
Exclusive.
Yeah. So the first thing is that in a few weeks from now, we're hosting our national training event in Thessaloniki, for which we're very, very excited. And a more long-term plan that we want to achieve is to create a big youth teams forum in Thessaloniki in order for all the student associations to be able to work together, connect, better promote each other, and of course create more opportunities for gaining visibility, for collaborating on great projects, and for creating a big like associations hub that has a really big impact in the city for young people, of course.
Very nice. It's very nice that you're using this momentum also to kind of build on other things and also support other organizations in the process. It's very commendable. And I wanted to ask you, how was the impact now? You said that you struggled a little bit at the beginning with the pandemic and everything. Has it been better now with, you know, there's no more COVID, hopefully at least not in the scale that it was before. So are things better now also with the title? Did it really bring back the team? Are you feeling a bit more energized? I mean, clearly you are, but...
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I can tell that we achieved to grow again, to recover, to grow in terms of human resources, in terms of motivation, which is the most important thing for me. And yes, we are back.
We are back. I bet that like last year when we were doing this competition, it seemed like, I know that a lot of people would go, oh, but you know, there probably a lot of other sections will compete. It won't be as easy to get this title because you know everybody will be submitting tips. But you managed. Do you think that kind of like telling now to other people that might want to join the competition next year, do you have like an advice for them, kind of to motivate them to go for this?
Okay, so I think that going participating in the competition is something that you should definitely do, because as I already said, visibility is everything. Like, it will definitely boost what you already have and showcase the best of you, the best practices that I'm sure that you all have. So yeah, I wish the finalists good luck. I think they're all amazing, and I wish that they have such a great year as we had.
Very nice.
I think, yeah, what we did was great, and I hope that everyone has the chance at a certain point to live that.
Very nice. And my last question, I just wanted to ask you, because this year we extended the competition a little bit, so it wasn't just about the tips, it has certain features as well that I will talk about later. But I do want to ask you now as well, what are maybe some of the initiatives that you take with other organizations, now that you mentioned this one that you're starting, or with city or with university, that you're kind of very proud of, that you want to highlight to others maybe, that, or just how you support students in which ways that you are very proud of as well in Thessaloniki?
Okay, so what we actually do, and I think it's our biggest achievement, is that we actually create a family of Erasmus students. We're not family just as ESN Thessaloniki, but also students that come in Thessaloniki that are more or less 1,000 per year, create their own family. And I think this is a big thing. We're always close to them. We support it in any ways we can. Of course, we are collaborating with the universities. I don't know, of course, we have our buddy system, we have big bonding trips, we have a whole welcome month this semester, which is actually a very big thing for us because until some years ago we had welcome months. So now we extended it. So yeah, this is more or less the same. We are also trying to support the possible outgoing students, like the local students of our universities. We always participate in the meetings that are organized by the universities in order to get them better prepared before their mobility. And we're always there, always there. And we also have a lot of opportunities for local students to meet us. We call it Meet ESN Thessaloniki. We do a lot of them every semester. So yeah, we're very, very proud of what we got today.
Very nice. I actually have one more question. I swear it's the last one.
Of course.
No, I wanted to ask you, because we talked about this when we were doing the campaign, so I know the answer, but maybe they don't know the answer. What makes Thessaloniki so amazing for students, actually? Because, again, you were the first Erasmus destination of the year. What makes studying as an international student in Thessaloniki so special? Because it's not just about getting more than 400 tips. Clearly, they really do want to support their students. But what is it that maybe could draw other students to the city?
Okay, so what I could say is that Thessaloniki is definitely a vibrant and welcoming city. Also, it's like traditionally a very, very big student hub. I think there are more than 100,000 students in Thessaloniki. Also, Thessaloniki has the biggest university of the whole Balkanic Peninsula. So, yeah, it's actually a student hub. The whole city is staffed by students. And as is in Thessaloniki, as we said, we are trying to always be there and support all the students that need us. I don't know what more to say, actually. I invite you all to come to Thessaloniki to celebrate together. And you will realize by your own. I don't think I have to say more about that. You're all welcome in Thessaloniki. We will be expecting for you.
I've been to Thessaloniki a few times myself, also for the famous EGM Thessaloniki, the last EGM ever, which we didn't know at the time, but there you go. It was amazing. So I definitely also recommend to anyone that is looking for a place to visit that's it's on the beach, but it's also not a very beachy town. Like, it's not about just the beach. It's really, really amazing, a lot of history as well. So thank you, Ariadne, for joining me on stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you from Thessaloniki. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And good luck to everyone.
Okay, very nice. I hope I'll make the presentation work for me again. Thank you, Ariadne, once again, and congratulations to ESN Thessaloniki. Honestly, we were so happy and proud of them last year, and it was really great to work with them all year. And yeah, they're really an amazing team of people and very welcoming. So big love to everyone in ESN Thessaloniki and people that are not here as well. Okay, but for this year's edition, we decided to build upon it. Last year it was only the tips competition, but this year we really wanted to see what it is that makes a city a perfect Erasmus destination. Because you know, if you've been on Erasmus, you probably also did the research yourself. You maybe went because you already knew someone in the city, but you probably also were looking for a good place to go, whatever it is that means to you a good place to go. So we really wanted to explore what it is that makes a city so good, what kind of support system does it have, and like I said in the beginning also, how does ESN contribute to this being a good city to study in? So we decided to open applications, and they were done on the city level, so if all sections were, just like Thessaloniki, supposed to come together and work on this application, and we kind of had it in two parts. First one was more qualitative, which was, again, number of tips submitted in the Erasmus Plus app, because like I said, as ESN, we really tried to, we're striving to make the app, well, perfect for students, and we're trying to get as much information as possible into the app, which will be useful for other students. And of course, total number of activities submitted on activities.esn.org for two reasons. One, it's very important that we showcase the work that we do, and numbers are our strongest tool, and we do a lot of great activities. And also because, if you didn't know, activities.esn.org feeds into the Erasmus Plus app, so everyone that goes on mobility, that is using the app, can find ESN activities in the app if they are curious what to do when they're in the city. And then the second part was more qualitative, where we asked the applicants 10 questions regarding different areas of work, and we evaluated these thanks to our internal jurors. I want to say a big thank you to them. Kostas and Sabina you've already met, but it was also some of our friends from support structures such as Sara, Pedro, and Una, and they had a very daunting job. We got 10 applications. They were really, really good from really good cities, really nice cities, but we actually ended up having to select only 5, which was a bit difficult, but also really, really amazing because those applications are really nice, and you're going to hear all about them now. To start, I would like to welcome Toulouse to the stage. Francois, please. Come on, friends. Yes, thank you very much. Francois is going to present Toulouse now. Go ahead.
Hello, ESM. What an excitement to be with you today, to have the chance to convince you that Toulouse deserves to be the Erasmus destination of the year. And to tell you how the history of ESN Toulouse have impacted mobility in the first student city of France. I am also feeling emotional because I also have a history with Toulouse, where I was born 24 years ago and where I grew up. So I will try to share our story with you through the experiences that I've had and that I remember since I joined the Erasmus Student Network 4 years ago. Well, Toulouse, what a hard exercise to summarize this city in a few minutes. But if I must choose a few words to describe it, I would choose youth, well-being, education, and culture. Youth because 40% of the population is under 29. Well-being because the southern welcoming and gastronomy and the feeling of living in a human-sized European metropolis where everyone can feel home. Education because of the 130,000 students spread into the 23 higher education institutions, which allow to 15,000 international students a strong learning experience, while at the same time discovering all the cultural richness of our territories, from the Région Occitanie and its famous vineyards, to the Département de la Haute-Garonne and its wonderful mountains, to the Métropole de Toulouse and its aeronautics and its rugby team. All this heritage being enhanced by our local authorities that make internationalization a priority and that have decided to trust a young team of students just back from mobility to improve mobility. And I remember this young team of students, also known as ESN Toulouse, 2 years ago, after the COVID crisis, we were less than 10 active members, looking to our inspiring sweat big brothers, Porto, Lisboa, Barcelona, Madrid, Milano, Roma. And we were dreaming about growing up and joining them in their achievements. My friends, we did a long way together. together as a network, because we wouldn't have been able to step up without the sharing knowledge that allowed this kind of international meetings and the wiki. My friends, today I am proud to observe our achievements. 80 active members that have organized the Southwestern European Platform and 240 activities since September, allowing the integration of thousands of international students, impacting so many lives. And I can tell you that it's only the beginning, because we will continue to support future international students to make Toulouse the best Erasmus destination. Well, I obviously need to end this speech by thanking every single person that have made it possible, all the volunteers that have dedicated a part of their life to ESN Toulouse, and every single people that have passed by Toulouse in their life. Thank you!
Thank you, Francois. That was very, very passionate. I've heard that Toulouse is called the Pink City. Is that true? I don't play favorites today despite my outfit, but very cool name of the city. Very nice. Next city that I have for you, next representatives, come from a very, very nice city in the kind of heart of Europe. I know Brussels likes to call itself the heart of Europe, but geographically it's not. So I would like to invite to stage Vienna and Alice.
Thank you, Vienna. Hi, everybody. Let me introduce myself for a second. I'm Alice. I'm one of the 6 local presidents in Vienna. And I'm here to tell you why Vienna should be the next Erasmus destination of the year. First, a few words on the city. You might have heard that Vienna has been called the most livable city in the world. And this is due to a range of factors that also improve the lives of the Erasmus students in Vienna. For example, we have quite affordable housing, we have a great public transport system, we have a great education healthcare system, a wide array of cultural opportunities, and also easy access to beautiful green spaces in the city and its surroundings. And this is a great basis for an Erasmus semester, and we build upon that basis, and we build our support structures and our events on that basis. I keep saying we, that is the 6 sections, the 6 ESN sections in Vienna, plus our umbrella organization, ESN Vienna. And with this system, we have the possibility in the sections to cater directly to the Erasmus students in our universities. But as ESN Vienna, we can approach all Erasmus students in Vienna and the institutional stakeholders and partners and companies together. Of course, we help each other out if a section is struggling, and we coordinate our events so we don't stay in conflict with each other, and to give the Erasmus students a wide program of amazing events for their stay. Talking about events, we of course use everything that the city can give us. We have so many opportunities for cultural events. A little event, a very nice one that is coming up, is a free classical music concert where a lot of students always show up, and we go there with Erasmus students and they love it. We enjoy our time on the Danube Island, a beautiful green island in the middle of the city where we do barbecues, we go swimming in the Danube, we hike through the vineyards in the west of Vienna and enjoy everything that the city can give us. You might have also heard that Vienna has not only the title of the most livable city in the world, but also the most unfriendly one, unfortunately. We try to focus on this as well, not only through our buddy systems, which we all have, but also with events. For example, we just had an event a few weeks ago called a language cafe, where the Erasmus students, together with locals, can improve their language skills and get to know each other and bridge the divide between the Erasmus students and the locals. So in Vienna, when you're in Vienna, you do an Erasmus, you don't only get to experience Vienna, because, as it has been teased before, we are in the heart of Europe. So you get to experience also so many different other countries, because just a few train rides away, you have Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia. We also go to Croatia and everything. So you have so many opportunities, often also in a very sustainable way, to see so many things. So an Erasmus in Vienna is not just an Erasmus in Vienna, but an Erasmus in the heart of Europe while living in the most livable city in the world. And we have a very special saying in Vienna for the Erasmus students. I don't know if you have heard it, but what happens in Vienna stays in Vienna.
Very nice, thank you, Alice. I'm from ESN Novi Sad, local section in ESN Serbia. Woo, yes. And ESN Vienna actually used to visit us every year or every semester, and that was always quite an adventure when they would come, and we would organize events for them, and it would be really a big kind of cross-culture, cross-border cooperation between sections that are not actually that close, but it was still really nice. So, very nice. Okay, next up we have another very, very nice city. You might have heard of it. It's in Spain. I would like to invite on stage my friend Guillermo, and he's going to represent... Which one? Valencia!
Hello. Thanks everyone for coming. I want to speak to you about Valencia from like the international or student's perspective. And so I want to start by asking you to imagine that you are a young European and it's your first day in your Erasmus. Do you remember this feeling? So the first thing that you may do is breathe in and smell the ocean and feel the warmth of the sun in your skin. And this feels perfect, like right from the start. You will like soon be welcomed by the city. It is very suitable for any pocket. You will be invited to get lost in the labyrinth of the city center, the historic center, very beautiful. You will get invited to join the parks and the public spaces. It's a green European capital. You will feel very safe. You will be able to truly be yourself here. You will feel the energy of the city that is literally about to burst into flames. And you will see that here, this place has always been your will. This is the feeling that 6,000 Erasmus students get every year when they arrive at Valencia, one of the hot spots for mobility in Europe. And the moment that you first get to know about ESN, it's when you get to your welcome events at your university, and you get handed a plate of paella, our city's national list, international list, and you will get invited to some of our you will get invited to some of our events, and I do say some of them because if you came to all of our events, you will never set foot on a library. So, and we don't want that, so just come to some of them. We are having an average of one activity per day across the whole year, so you get a lot of events. You have the usual weekly international dinners, tandems, you have theme events, we have trips, we have all of that for sure. But I want to say that one of the things that we are most proud of in Valencia is being leaders in social impact projects. We are very deeply compromised with our causes, with sustainable development goals, and with integrating local students in their international students in the local communities, which is something sometimes really hard to do. So we have a lot of initiatives, like for example, we have the Rural Erasmus in Schools program where we take international students to those remote regions so that kids in those places can learn about mobility and be encouraged to go on mobility as well. We have we promote sports and healthy lifestyle through major events like Erasmus Games, but also maybe we just meet at the beach and we go surfing. That's something we do. We promote social inclusion, we promote so many stuff. I would like to speak about all of these initiatives, but we only have 5 minutes, and there's like 100 of them this year so far. So we have to move on, and I have to talk about your universities. Here, all of this wouldn't be possible without a healthy relationship between ESN and the universities. The universities really see a value in what we do, and they really support us. They give us some financial help. They provide us with facilities, materials. They give us massive outreach within international students, both outgoing and incoming. And they provide us with our offices, which are right on campus, very convenient for everyone to come in. And also because in any relationship, it's a red flag to give and not to receive as well. ESN also helps the universities with developing their European University Alliances, and we also work with them in some major Erasmus Plus projects. So that's something that I think we also do. But coming back to topic, you are an Erasmus student in Valencia. You want to... No, I think there's like there's some slides missing. Okay, anyway, don't worry. You want to travel, basically, and you happen to be in the right place to do so, because in Valencia, we believe that we are in paradise, because, there's the beach, there's the mountains, you have wide-lived villages all across, you have natural springs, it's a natural paradise. And the good thing about this is that as a young person, you can just go anywhere you want, anytime you want, because transport is actually free in Valencia for young people. So that's a big plus. But in case you don't want to go alone, you can always come with us, with ESN. We do like almost weekly short trips to these places, these beautiful places. But we also take you on longer trips, just around the country of Spain, which is very beautiful. We have national events organized by ESN Spain. We just hosted one this year. We like to host national events in Valencia. It's a nice city to do so. Also, if you're in Valencia, oh, by the way, our signature trips are Wild Spain and the North trip. I'll let you guys figure out where we go on those, but it's quite an experience. But also, last but not least, if you are in Valencia by the end of April, you are like in the right place, in the right time to get on a boat and set sail, literally, with the rest of ESN Spain to the best trip in the network, which is, of course, the national event in Ibiza. And after this, you will not be the same, I promise you. And getting to this point, I want to take a step back and ask you again to imagine yourselves on your last day of your Erasmus and just remember the memories that you have made, the friends you have made for life, and just you will ask yourself how could this not be the best possible destination for Erasmus? So, thank you everyone.
Very nice. I know that ESN Spain takes pride in the social impact activities and social inclusion, so this is really some great examples right here that we're showing. So I just can't imagine what the rest of the country does if this one section does all of this. So very good job, Spain. Very good job, Valencia. Very nice. Okay, next up. Well, I guess this is a spoiler, right? I want to invite on stage a very good friend of mine, Lucia, and yes, from ESN Padua. There you go.
I could tell you that Padua is the Erasmus destination of the year for many endless reasons. Because Padua holds more than 2,000 incoming students each year, and even more international students study here long term. Because for over 30 years, since 1992, we have been collaborating with the University of Padova to welcome international students and to advocate for international mobility with the amazing work of over 1,000 volunteers. I could tell you that we are the Erasmus Destination of the Year because of the many events that we organized that counted altogether over 60,000 people and more than 140 types of activities. Because every year, in the occasion of the Venetian Carnival, we host the largest Erasmus party with students from all over Italy, responsibly and in safety. Because the many trips that we have organized have taken our international students to discover over 20 cities, if the presentation works, to discover over 20 cities now. From the boat party, that is a trip actually around the Venice Lagoon, to the hills of Tuscany, and even taking them to the capitals of Central and Eastern Europe. Because recently, we have hosted the first national platform of ESN Italy, and we are preparing to host the Southwestern European platform in October. And then again, the seminars, workshops, games, to promote actually rare and common diseases, to promote also healthy lifestyle with many sports activities, sustainability, and so on. I could tell you that we are the Erasmus Destination of the Year, not only because we organize this, but because we organize these activities in collaboration with local institutions and associations, and also European institutions sometimes, to promote the European values in our community and beyond. But I'm not gonna do that. These are just numbers. They are wonderful numbers that we are very proud of them. But I don't want to talk about numbers. I want to talk about people, about our international students. And they will be the ones telling you why we are not only the Erasmus Destination of the Year, but we have been the Erasmus Destination of their lives. For me, he's not just associate number K878. He's Frederick, a Belgian Erasmus student that once decided that jumping into the fountain of Prato della Valle right before Christmas was a great idea. And he was always with us in every event, and he actually dreams with coming back to Padova. And they are not just K1191 and K1223. They are Katerina and Basilike, two of my best friends. The unforgettable Greek girls that were with us in every event, even jumping into the organization of the boat party from 7 a.m. till 4 a.m. the next day. And actually this year, they are coming again, same day, same smile, with a flight to join us once again in our boat trip. And she's not just associates K1, whatever number it is, because we don't care about numbers. She's actually Julia. And she's German, Polish, and Iranian. And she was never an Erasmus student. She had the spirit of a real ESM volunteer. And she would have stayed in Padova. I know that, because she's also one of my best friends. And always from Germany, our dear Lilian. She is now one of the founders, just 6 months after she came back to Padova, to one candidate section to ES in Germany, in Berlin, all of our own. She's also a dear friend of us, and she's dreaming with coming back to Padova to work once again, but first she has a mission to do in Germany. We are who we are today, also because of all the Erasmus students. Like Alejandro, that actually is an ESM volunteer of ESM Verona. He came back to Italy, but he always talks about how Padova changed his life and how it impacted himself and made him another different person. I will continue. Or Yannick. Actually, Yannick was one that found love, friends inside and outside ESN, and comes back to Padova each now and then to meet his friends that are actually ESN volunteers, and you see them in the pictures. Or, we have also an important person here, Lise, that was elected from the National Board of ESN Norway just 3 months after she came back from Padova. She's impacting even nowadays Padova with our safety project, and we will be forever grateful for her. And And she will also always remember why she sang our section chorus, drinking wine in Bassano del Grappa. While we work to create all the things that I said before, all of these numbers, we do them having them in mind. We are driven by the friendships, by the experiences we share, by the hugs, by the postcards they send us when they come back home and that we have hung in the office, and all of the hugs that they give us when they come back to visit. Everything that we do it with all our heart. And that's why we are the Erasmus Destination of the Year. Because every impact that they have in us, and every impact that the city has in them, with all of the opportunities that it has to offer, it stays forever. Thank you.
Before we started, when we were preparing this morning, Lucia told me that she's worried that she's going to cry on stage. You didn't, but I did, so very good job. And last but not least, I want to invite on stage one of our neighbors. I live in Brussels now, so that might be a hint. From Belgium, and he is in Belgium, from Ghent specifically, Yasmin.
Honestly, what an amazing city. For me, honestly, one of the most difficult questions that someone can ever ask me is, why did you choose Ghent? Out of all of the European cities you could have chosen to do your master's, why did you choose Ghent? And time after time after time, as much as I try, I can just never ever keep it short. Because guess what? There's just so much to talk about when it comes to Ghent. And today, I was indeed tasked with giving a short overview of what Ghent is, but I'll try my best to keep it short. So what is Ghent all about? Ghent is a medieval city. It's filled with so many beautiful buildings, some even dating back to the 12th and to the 13th century. Ghent is a city that is so rich in history. On the one side, Ghent is really where two worlds meet. On the one side, you have this historical side to it, but on the other side, Ghent is a young, vibrant, international city. And here, I would really like to highlight the city's role in providing many cultural activities for our students. And how does ESN Ghent collaborate with our city? Well, we disseminate these cultural activities through our social media platforms, but we also take our students to these cultural activities. And next year in Ghent, there will be many more activities taking place, because Ghent got titled the European Youth Capital for 2024, something we're super excited about. And there will be many activities all related to empowering the youth and giving them a bigger voice in the European project. Something that's really super exciting. Although I have to give credit to ESN Utrecht for being the very first founded ESN section, it was, however, in Ghent that in 1989 that the Erasmus Bureau invited 32 former Erasmus students for an evaluation meeting. And it was this meeting that was the starting point for ESN. And since then, ESN and Ghent have literally been intertwined since the very foundation of ESN in 1989. And because of this, we have a very strong collaboration with our higher education institutions for over 30 years, something I'm super proud of actually, and which has actually gone hand in hand with the expansion of the Erasmus program. We collaborate with our higher education institutions on many different aspects, but I would like to highlight two. The first one, that's fine. The first one being Enlight, and the second one being internationalization at home. So what is Enlight? Enlight is a European University Alliance of 9 universities, and Ghent, so University of Ghent is one of these universities. And these 9 universities, they together share resources, they work together on different projects, but they also have many different mobility schemes. And because Ghent is in direct contact with international students, we're invited to their monthly meetings so that we can voice our concerns, but also give them input on their projects related to international students. To promote internationalization at home, we also collaborate with one of our higher education institutions. And how exactly? Well, instead of taking an English course, they can organize an event for international students in collaboration, but also with support with ESN Kent. So that's how they also have local students get an opportunity to get involved in the international environment. ESN Kent has many different long-term projects, and I would like to call your attention on two. The first one being accommodation. And you might ask yourself, why accommodation? Well, exactly to prevent this. This was one of our Erasmus students last year who arrived in Kent, and he didn't have accommodation. And this guy, he's so innovative, honestly. He decided to buy a white t-shirt and a pen, and he wrote down, I'm looking for accommodation. He walked around in the city with this. And yeah, this is such an amazing story. In the end, he ended up finding accommodation. But it also really highlights that Kent really has a housing problem. It really, really does. So what does ESN Kent do? Well, we acknowledge this, and we have a accommodation survival guide with tips and tricks on where students can find accommodation. But in the survival guide, we also have tips and tricks on how students can recognize but also avoid scammers, because unfortunately in Belgium there are many scammers in the housing market. But we also have Telegram groups, but a specific Telegram group specifically for housing. And here is where we put outgoing students in contact with incoming students, because this is actually really a win-win situation for both of them, because outgoing students can more easily sublet their rooms whilst they're in Erasmus, and the incoming students are then aware of the different opportunities that they have in the housing market. Then our second long-term project is healthy mobility. And here again, you might ask yourself, why? Well, because the ESN survey conducted by ESN International reveals that actually anxiety and stress are in the top common issues that students face whilst they're on mobility. And so what does ESN Kent do specifically? Well, we have clear guidelines and guidelines that students can that we disseminate to students. So if they feel unwell or unsafe during one of our events, they know what exactly to do. And we communicate this online through our social media platforms, but also we communicate this through posters during our activities. And second, we also communicate the higher education institutions' well-being initiatives. So if students, for example, want to know where they can find a student psychologist, we help them with this. Or if they, for example, want to join a talking group related to stress or anxiety, we let them know where all to find this information. Yeah. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Ghent and how we collaborate with the higher education institutions and how we work together with our city. But indeed, as all my candidates already told before, if I'm longer than 5 minutes, Nina, she told me that she would come take my mic away, so we're going to round it off here. And so, if you want an experience of your lifetime, that is Ghent. Choose Ghent because honestly, it's a city that is so beautiful. It's a city that is full of opportunities. It's a city that is just so full of life. We strongly believe that this place where it all started is the place to be. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Congratulations to all the finalists. They're really, really amazing presentations. I really enjoyed them, and I also really enjoyed working with them in the past week or two. What's going to happen next for you all to know is this competition is not done yet. That's why they're called finalists. We don't know who is the winner yet. It's really exciting. We're going to all find out together on Sunday, because what's going to happen next is, first of all, today during the whole event, you will have a poster gallery, and there will be posters by all 5 finalists and ESN Thessaloniki up on the walls. So you can consult them, see what else they maybe didn't have time, because I told them I'll take their mic away, didn't have time to mention. Maybe you can steal some ideas from them, but best practice sharing and all of that. And if you find them around, you can always ask them questions. I'm sure they want to talk about their cities more, because they're really, really nice cities. And in the meanwhile, I've told you we had an internal jury, now we have an external jury. So we've tasked some really, really amazing people from some of the collaborating organizations. Some of them you've met already. We have colleagues from EAIE, we have colleagues from ACA, we have colleagues from ESSO, from the Commission, and from the European Youth Forum that we sent them the applications last week, and they've been reading them, and they've been taking notes here. I was watching, very good. So they're gonna decide now what is actually the best city to do your Erasmus, and that city will take the title for 2023. And I'm very excited to find out. Now, before we move on to the next part, I want to invite all the finalists again on stage. Please come. Please, big round of applause for them. I want standing ovations. They do an amazing job. They do an amazing job every day. Not just them, but all of our colleagues. Yes. Give it up for Toulouse, Vienna, Ghent, Padova, and Valencia. Good job. Kings of my heart. So we've heard 6 stories from 6 cities around Europe of all the initiatives that they do, all the work that they do. Because like I said in the beginning, ESN is so much more than just the parties, as that lady thought. We have amazing initiatives, working together with city, working together with local governments, working together with universities, with other youth organizations, other organizations in general, and I'm so happy we got a chance to highlight them. But now, as always, it's important to keep the big picture in mind, so I would like to invite on stage 2 very cool people that I get to work with every day, who will tell us more about it. Please, once again, our president, Juan Rayon, and our director, Bruno Javios. Thank you very much.
I promise. Thank you very much. Please, a big round of applause to our moderator. Where's the click here? My friends, let me ask you, are you hungry? Yes, I know. I am also hungry. I am hungry of, please, I have a fantastic joke and I want to do it. Please, presentation, work. I am hungry of food. Those that know me know that this is not uncommon. But I am also hungry of other things. I came up with this joke reading the meme chat, and I am gonna do it. I am gonna do it even if I need to walk awkwardly around this stage for a couple of minutes. I think that's fine. No. After this amazing beginning of the Erasmus destination of the year that we want to make into one of our landmark initiatives, we are gonna be telling you a story. Do you like stories, my friends? Yes, we are ESNers, we are fantastic storytellers. Apparently we are not so fantastic when it comes to presentation management, but we are improving. So I'm going to be telling you, with my dear friend, with our fantastic director Wim, we're going to be telling you a story of impact. Just like my dear friend Jasmine, thank you for that Jasmine, reminded us about the story of ESN and how connected we are, also to the city of Ghent from the beginning. We're also going to talk about how from the beginning ESN is deeply connected with impact. And I'm going to unveil it now. This is what I'm hungry for. I'm hungry for impact as well. Maybe more hungry for food, but it's almost working. It's almost working. But also hungry for impact. I'm going to do a final check and I'm going to come back right now. It's done. Yes, I fixed it. No. Bianca fixed it. So, for today, for Saturday, before we finish with our event, we didn't want to miss the opportunity to tell you this story and tell you why you are so important in this story of impact. We like to ask ourselves in ESN these kind of philosophical questions, we always include in the speech because they are important. This idea of why do we do what we do? What are the motives behind our actions? And even if there are many ways to answer this question, we want to get practical here. We like to say in the ESN headquarters that through our many activities, through the many things that we do, that you do, we work for better access to mobility and bigger impact of mobility, making sure that more students participate, they have a better experience, and they benefit society as a whole. But, as you know, to have an impact, you need a clear plan, you need a good plan. And the cool thing is that even if you don't know that yet, even if you're doing your volunteering without being fully aware of this secret plan that we have from the EGM headquarters, you are a key part of that plan. You can see the key there. It's a beautiful key, right? You are that beautiful key of our master plan. And we want to discuss with you, in our most important event in the Erasmus Generation meeting, the role of local sections in making this plan even more strategic. And our master plan has this very simple structure. For so many years, even many times without knowing it, we have a structure of activities, the cycle of our initiatives, following this beautiful circle: assess, action, and advocacy. And now we're going to explain to you what it means and what are the different pieces of this puzzle. Where is Constantina, by the way? Constantina, you've seen how many pictures I put you, eh? Okay, I hope you're happy. The beautiful thing that I already mentioned the other day, is that in this cycle, it always starts with listening. Listening, this broad concept, has been at the center of our activity for so many years. It has happened naturally. As alumni, as youth workers, as student representatives, we listen to our students so we can improve their experiences. From conversations in the day-to-day, in our activities, to these surveys that some of the candidates also mentioned now, we have structured our activity through listening. And this is the base of this assessment part. Yes, what? Yes, this is the base of this assessment part. Collecting and analyzing information and data from students so we can use it to plan the next steps. At the first stage of this impact plan, it's always assessment. Listening, evaluating, understanding what is that our students or volunteers need to be that better version of themselves. And how do we do it? How do we do this assessment? We do it in many ways. But we want to highlight one, because we want you to be hyped up about this. Since 2005, ESN has been conducting this ESN survey that has become one of the largest surveys conducted fully by students in the world, reaching more than 250 answers in less than 20 years, with an average of more than 15,000 answers. Thanks to these surveys that the whole network has promoted, ESN has been able to understand the challenges, the dreams and aspirations of thousands of students. But of course, through this journey, we have also learned many of the things that now inform our demands towards the universities, towards the institutions we work with. We have learned more about the main issues of students that also were mentioned before, so we can then plan the next steps and help them. We know now that after the pandemic, students need more support with their mental health, but they still need support with aspects such as recognition, financial support, and accommodation, and also many of the candidates explain now. And this is why knowing this is so fundamental to structure our activities. We also know that those initiatives that ESN sections do across Europe and beyond, trying to connect students with local communities, are really important, because the majority of the students still don't manage to be a full part of their hosting communities. And we also know that students that don't manage to be mobile still need more guidance, more information about the funding available, more support with the application process, and more help choosing a university. And this is why things like Erasmus Destination of the Year are so important. They respond directly to the needs of the students. And of course, since we have almost more than 40 countries here, we also know that even if there are European international mobility programs, differences between countries are still too high. So there is a lot that we need to do at the national and institutional level. We know that the timing of the grants is really different depending on the countries. Recognition is very different depending on the countries. But of course, numbers are important, but people is more important, right? Yes, that was a good one, Lucia, well done. And this is why sometimes numbers are not enough. We need to look for other ways to collect information, to really grasp the experience of students. And this is why we have started to do more focus groups, to collect information directly from students. This is why your conversations, noting down what your students tell you every day, it's so important, because it can be used to start change. So what is the future? What are we presenting you here? What are the next steps for us in terms of assessment? We have many plans, and all of them rely on you being part of this journey. We want to boost the use of this student data at the local and national level. My friend Jasmine said before, the ESN survey is the survey of ESN International. No, the ESN survey is the survey of this network. And we want all of you to be able to use that data in your universities and your national levels. We also want to combine more our initiatives at the national, local, and international level, like the survey that our colleagues from ESN UK are doing now with the ESN survey, to find those synergies. We also want to use this data to show the needs of students and connect more with our initiatives, such as the section questionnaire or the ESN volunteer number. So these are some of the main things that we have planned. This May, I will tell you the exact date later to create some hype, we're going to launch a new edition of the ESN survey. Constantina, you are still there. You see, eh? And we want you to be part of the beginning of this story. We also want to give you better tools so you can work in this data collection at the local and national level, building your initiatives based on evidence. And after that, after starting with the evidence, after knowing that data, numbers, and experience are so important, we're going to talk about the next step, the action. And for that, I want a big round of applause to our director, Wim Gabriels.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. As Juan mentioned, indeed, the second step that we always do, and this is where you all get super involved, is our local actions that you coordinate on the ground. And what we try to do to make sure that you are supported is creating more tools, more materials for the network to use and improve the experiences of students and the impact we have on your local communities. We very often create trainings to build more capacity. Us here today in the room, yesterday, tomorrow, talking about all of these different initiatives that you're doing, showcasing best practices, is really what helps building the capacity of you and us in order to improve the experience of students. But then, the key moments come when we go back home and we take this into action, and the things that you do every day to support students and the community, the mobility experience and the integration of students in your local community is really what matters. Now I'm going to give you two, if it works, two examples of elements that we are doing in order to improve the experiences. First example, environmental sustainability. In the project of Green Erasmus, we created an online portal that has quizzes, games, information for students to check how can they improve and be better participants of the Erasmus, be more sustainable. We also created guidelines for you to use to create more green activities, and we support 10 activities funded through the Green Erasmus project for local activities on the ground. A second example is the Erasmus Generation in Action project that we have running now, a project supported with more than 20 countries of the network directly involved, which is going to lead to us making the biggest mobility promotion campaign with your support, because you're going to help us translate this into over 19 languages to really, in the next year, make mobility an opportunity for all, because everybody's going to be informed. But we're also going to create a wizard for international students so they can, go on the Erasmus Generation portal, look up, I'm from Spain. If I want to participate in Erasmus, what is going to be my rights as a Spaniard in Belgium? How do I vote when it's the elections? How can I access my health insurance? All of this kind of information is things that we're doing here today. We will have sessions later, gathering input on what you want this information to be. And then there will be more than 120 activities organized in 2023, 2024. And I want to kind of also stand still with this, because it is through helping, through creating this type of initiatives, these local phases, multiplier phases, that we are able to really have an impact. And we're really trying to, year by year, create create more opportunities for you to get directly involved. And I started kind of putting everything together, and then I came with the numbers yesterday. I'm like, wow, actually, in the end, we were able to, in 2022, we supported with 15,000 euros for local activities, through the SEAM project to the work plan on the mental health. In 2023, we will have 39,000 euros for 85 activities, through Green Erasmus, through Speak Out, through the Erasmus Generation in Action. And in 2024, 53,000 euros for 125 activities, through EGM, Inclusion Now, Erasmus Careers, and EGM. So, what I want to stress is that keep an eye on your section inbox, the wiki for the section opportunities, and on opportunities.esn.org. And Bianca put a QR code so you can, scan and make sure that you are signed up to all of the right spaces, because these are opportunities for you to take and organize activities that we can help you support in funding, right? Now, because at the end, we believe that ESNers are key ambassadors in these actions. Because one ESNer coordinating all of these activities, being the key contact point, between students, between the local communities, between the universities, reach 20 international students on average per activity, and 15 local young people, who are locals, per activity. Keep on reporting your actions, because it is really important that we get all of this data in order to showcase our power. Nina was mentioning them a little bit before. Yeah, okay. So we have 14,000 activities reported since 2019, reaching more than 770 people, all volunteers, international students, and local people combined. And even in the periods of COVID, the yellow bar, we did a lot of online actions to make sure that our network and our students stayed engaged. Now we see that we've returned more or less completely back to physical, but there are still opportunities that we use hybrid and online actions there. So keep reporting them, keep showing us what you're doing. When it comes to the breakdown, we see that a small number of ESN volunteers at the end, influence so many different students. 62% of our audience are international students, while 32% are local youth that you reach through your actions. One element that I want to point out is maybe coming back from COVID, we really need to reflect on how much we reach out to the local community. Because here we see a bit of a drop. We see that we still keep on growing and reaching out to international students, but our outreach to local youth kind of is stagnating. So this one thing that I want to help you reflect on is our numbers are showing that we need to kind of go back out there, really go and do these social impact activities, learn from each other, pick up this thought and really keep running with it. Because once we have all the data and once we have implemented all of the actions, what can we do with that next one?
Yes. Then it is time to advocate. Come on, Bianca. Let's give an applause to Bianca, who's there behind the scenes. Come here. Fantastic. Thank you very much. It works. Thank you, Wim. That was fantastic. So, the next step after evidence is starting with those activities that from the beginning have been at the core of ESN's work. Always with that mentality that we don't need to wait always for us to change things. We can also be a motor of change. However, it is extremely important to use this momentum from the evidence we have, from the activities we do, from everything we learn in those activities to start advocating. And that's what we call, that's what we call to the action that we do when we try to propose changes to those who have the ultimate decision-making power over the things that matter to us. To our universities, municipalities, national governments, the European institutions, international organizations, knowing that we have that experience, that expertise, that knowledge of what the students need, because we are directly working with them and we want them to make certain changes. And this is the last part of our impact cycle. And the great thing is that thanks thanks to all the work done by our network, to everything that we have learned, through all these surveys, through all these activities, we have made progress. This is the positive part, that we know that when we work together, when we decide a clear objective, we can make progress. And last years we have seen a lot of progress. We have seen that after identifying that the timing of grant payments was a problem for most of the students, we have been able to advocate for legal changes in the grant agreement so students need to receive their grants later. We have also seen, no, not later, but sooner, sorry. We have also seen how the monitoring of the quality framework of Erasmus mobilities, done by the Erasmus Charter for Higher Education, has also become stronger. Of course, not only because of our work, but thanks also to our work. And we see that these things respond directly to the needs that the students express through our activities, through our data. And the really important thing, the key takeaway, is that we know, as a multi-level organization that is based on the grassroots activities of all our sections, that the work is never done. The conversations might start at the European level, but then it's up to us together in our universities, in our national agencies, to make sure that those achievements become a reality for all the students. This is how advocacy works. When we work together as a network, we are able to achieve those objectives. So it's actually you that have the ultimate power to make a difference. And of course, we also know that we have many causes still in the horizon. I want to share them with you. Many of you have been discussing this weekend the importance of a more sustainable Erasmus. We have a petition that you should all sign, please, 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 to ensure that all students get enough financial support so they can travel sustainably. Who has traveled by train here? Hey, please, an applause to these heroes. Come on, yes. This is inspiring. We practice what we preach. I think for some of you it took more than 5 hours, I heard. Yes. So this is how the change starts. But also, now, in light of the conversations around the European elections, we also want to work more on advocating for the rights of mobile students while abroad. EU, non-EU, of all students. So students really know their rights, how to vote from abroad, how to access healthcare, all kinds of rights. And we have a key role there as their supporters, as the people providing with that day-to-day support that is so fundamental. So you can see that the opportunities to make a difference in terms of access to mobility, quality, impact of mobility are countless. But the really important thing, and this is our final message for today, is that it all starts with listening. And this is why we need the power of our network to make sure that the next ESN survey, which will be launched on the 29th of May, will break all our records, achieving more than 25,000 answers from students from all over the world. So we can have the power, we can have the mandate from them to advocate for their needs, to adapt our activities to respond to what they need. And my friends, this is the key message that we want to convey today. That we should use this energy of this event, this energy that our network has after difficult years of the pandemic, to make sure that we show our strength as a network and we continue to boost the Erasmus generation. So our proposal is, my friends, that we should write together the next page in this impact story. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Wim. Thank you, Juan. Yeah, this entire morning was all about the impact that we have, and I do want to say that it's, again, what Juan said, it all starts with listening, whether you are answering to messages from students that you get on Facebook, email, Instagram, wherever they're writing to, and you actually reply to them and you try to help them out, or whether you are trying to advocate to the European Commission, to the Parliament, to change some regulation or try to get grants in time. All of it, in the end, starts with just listening and knowing how we can make these improvements and changes. So, ESN survey, May, please share. We're going to bombard you with information when time comes, don't worry. National communication managers, local communication managers, I'm especially looking at you. You're very important here. Thank you very much. So that's it from us for this morning. Thank you to all the finalists. Thank you to Ariadne from Thessaloniki. Thank you to Wim and Juan for all the speeches that they gave and all the input that they gave. I hope you got some new inspiration. I hope you got ideas. But even if you haven't, there's still 2 days of EGM left. I hope you interact with each other, learn from each other. The poster session is up today, as I said, so you can go around, get your ideas, get ideas from other people, talk to them, scan all the QR codes that you can find to find out more information, and just enjoy the Saturday. And I hope you have a lot of fun. No announcements from the OC and CT? Nothing? All good? Ah, yes. Thank you. See, I'm not one, so I'm like, I don't care about those people. No, I'm kidding. We have candidate sessions today as well. Thank you, Adele, for reminding me. Candidates for the international board, so the 6 people that will lead the network in the next academic year, they're going to have sessions on which floor? Ground floor? In the library. Same information, very good flow. So they're going to be on the ground floor in the library in three rounds. First, you're going to have 2 rounds of the international boards, and then you're going to have a round with the EGM candidates. As you might know, there are 2 cities running to be the hosts of next EGM. Let's hear it for Stockholm and Sweden. Thank you very much. Good job, Spain. Good job, Sweden. Very cool applications from 2 very amazing cities, so you can approach the candidates for the OCs. You can ask them questions. You can ask pretty much anything you want. I'm sure they are ready for everything. They've worked on their applications very much. So you can approach the EGM candidates to ask them questions, but you can also approach the IB candidates. Again, these are the people that will lead the network in the coming year. So it's very important that you share your input, share your questions, and just approach them so they know how best to prepare for their candidates and how best to lead the network in the coming year. Your input is very important because in the end, we all do this because of you and because of the entire network. So thank you very much. Enjoy your Saturday. Love you lots. Have a great day.